Hey, what is up, everybody? This is the Great Puckettini. Excuse me, this is the Great Puckettini. What I got for you today is the Arkansas Razorbacks top 10 players versus the University of Alabama-Birmingham Blazers. And I just want to say, man, it's a great win for the Razorbacks. I know I've seen a lot of people, Coach Pittman even act like he was upset, with the win, but you can't ever be upset about a win, man. I'm telling you, they are hard to come by. And I coached for 15 years, and I wish I could go back and celebrate the wins more because you don't get many of them. And, just think back, guys, how last year was. We probably would have lost this game last year. And I've just been seeing people being really negative, talking about, how just all kinds of negative stuff. Come on, guys, can't be that way. We're 2-1. We're going to play a very good Auburn team. We should have beat Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State beat the dog mess out of Tulsa. We should have won that game. We should have ran them out. We just didn't do it. But also remember, too, guys, we got 55 new players in there. Taylor Green hadn't played a whole lot. He's pretty inexperienced. And what he's doing is, man, he's having an unbelievable year so far. I mean, let's be real. This is not the college football game that a lot of y'all are playing right now, like college football 25. This is not it, man. This is real life. You got real players. The other teams got good players, too. Everybody can be good in this transfer era we're in right now. And I'm a firm believer that a lot of these teams that won national titles back in the 80s and 70s and 60s, they wouldn't have won those in today's college football with the playoffs. They would not have won them. A bunch of those at Notre Dame, some of these others won. If they had to play a playoff and play a Georgia or an Alabama or some at Florida, some of these teams that were really good back then, a lot of these teams would not have all these national titles, man. That was fantasy land. It's a little bit more real now, and with transfer and all that going on, man, it's crazy. And everybody should be good. That's why you see a lot of these upsets. See, Notre Dame get beat. There's been others. I'm kind of going brain dead right now. But teams can get good fast. If you got some money and you pick a couple good transfer guys and things work out, you can win, and everybody's better. You can be better right away. It's complete free agency, like the NFL used to be, So anyway, I'm happy for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Big win. They didn't start out exactly great, but I'm going to tell you, Alabama-Birmingham's a good team. They're not bad, okay? They did get beat pretty bad against Louisiana Monroe, but Monroe's not bad either now. They just didn't show up to play. And Arkansas might have took them a little bit lightly. That happens. This is the real world. This is not college football 25. Come on now. But they come on, they come back and got the big win. So I'm super proud of them. We all should be. Here we go. Now, let's go here. Number 10. This is our 10th best player, and this is going off of grades off of the website, Pro Football Focus. And I like using these grades, and I watched the game, and see these guys had good games. And so whether you get beat 70-0 or you win 70-0, you're graded to see how you played. And so it don't matter the score. You think when we win, everybody played great, but that's not the truth. When coaching, you get back and you watch the film, and you see some guys played horrible and you won 70-0. And then when you get beat, some guys played really good. So I like the grading systems, and these probably are not perfect. I don't have time to grade everybody. But anymore, I'm not coaching. That's not my job right now. I wish it was. I'd love to be coaching Arkansas Razorbacks. But anyway, here we go. Number 10 was linebacker Stephen Dix. Stephen Dix Jr., and he's from Orlando, Florida. He's from Orlando, Florida. He had a 68% overall grade, 82% tackling grade, 67% coverage, and a 65 in run defense. And anything over a 70 is a really good grade. When you get in those high 60s, it's pretty good too. He had 5 tackles, and 2 of those were stop tackles, which stopped drives. He also had 1 quarterback hurry, so good job there. He graded in number 10th overall for the Razorbacks. Number 9 was running back Rodney Hill from Statesboro, Georgia. Rodney's a little bit on the smaller side, but man, that sucker runs hard. Boy, he runs hard. And I love watching him run the ball. But he had 3 carries for 23 yards, which was really good production in his limited number of carries, which was 7.7 yards per carry. That's really good. And then my notes, I see he runs downhill really hard. He has good quickness. Man, he can go, and he runs hard. Now, he had a 68.4 overall grade on offense, 71 in the run game, 71 pass blocking, which a lot of people don't understand. That's very important. That's why a lot of running backs don't get to play, because they can't trust them to pass block. But Rodney here did a good job of pass blocking, and apparently, and so good job for him. Good job by him. Excuse me. All right, number 8 was cornerback Keon Stewart from Houston, Texas. And Keon needs to get some more playing time, because our secondary, we are struggling a little bit in the secondary, something that we do need to get going here. But it goes along with our D-line too, of course. If D-line's getting pressure, it's easier to cover, But anyway, Keon had a good game. He 69 overall defensive grade, 67% in coverage, 77% tackling, and 68 versus the run. He had 2 tackles, and those 2 tackles stopped drives. And like I said here, they need to give him a look at that slot corner. He didn't start. The 2 starters are Marquise and Jaheim Singletary, I think. And then you got Danico Slaughter in the slot. And I like Danico. I think he's I like him, but he's struggling a little bit, having a hard time. And they picked on him a few times there, both this season. So I hope he gets playing better. Maybe we need to change our coverage a little bit, not just go straight man to man, try to play a little more zone, do something. And we need the D-line to get some more pressure too, but that will help them out tremendously. But anyway, Keon Stewart had a big game for us. Good job there. All right, number 7 was right tackle Keyshawn Blackstock. He's from Covington, Georgia. He transferred in. I love Blackstock. He's got that old helmet, that old face mask with a bar in the middle. You don't see that anymore. Boy, he paints his face up. I like him. Boy, he's becoming one of my favorite players just to look at him. He's old school. And he blocked, the offensive line, like I say, man, for a group that was was not very good last year. And these are new players. He was not here. But, man, we've really transformed that O-line into a strength. And not we, Coach Pittman and all of the guys recruiting have done that. But anyway, they blocked for 425 yards of total offense. I mean, that's huge, guys. How many games do we have, 425? We're averaging 600 yards a game. I mean, my goodness. I mean, we're a monster on offense. We really are. He had a 74% overall grade, which is really good. He was 78 in the pass blocking, 69 in run blocking. He only allowed 2 pressures and 37 pass plays. And he graded out as 97% pass blocking efficiency. And that's the thing that PFF does, is they calculate that. They call it pass blocking efficiency. And he was at 97%. It's with the number of attempts and how many pressures you may give up. So I don't know if you 2 divided by 37 or whatever, if that comes out to 98, I don't know. But anyway, however they do that, that's very good. And I like old Blackstock, boy. I really like him. I love that helmet he's got with that bar down the middle, man. You don't see that anymore, but that's great. I love it. I love it when he paints his face up. He's a good one. All right, number 6, left tackle Fernando Carmona from Las Vegas. Boy, look at that typo. Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, Carmona's another one transferred in, I believe, from Tennessee. He blocked for 425 yards of offense this week. He had a 75% overall offensive grade, 74 in the run, 69 pass blocking. He did give up 1 sack, but 69 is a good grade. I mean, that's really good. He only gave up 3 pressures and 37 passes. Now, he's facing the other team's, best pass rusher a lot of times. So he gets a lot of pressure on him. He's got to really play well. Now, he graded out as 94% pass efficiency. Like I say, he did allow 1 sack, 2 quarterback hurries, but they had some good defensive ends over there. One of the guy I remember was 6'6", 240 or something. Was a good player. Can't remember his name. But I did a video about UAB, and they have a good defense, guys. That's what a lot of y'all don't understand. And that's what Coach Dilfer said after the game. He wanted to put us in passing situations, make us throw the ball, and not let us run, because he knew that was probably more of our strength. But and he really praised Coach Petrino about how he's just such a master play caller, and how he stayed patient, stuck with the running game, and did a great job. All right, number 5. I love this man, fullback Maddox Lassiter. I didn't even know who this guy was now, and I went through the roster and broke them all down, back during the summer. He's from Warren, Arkansas. And I got to play Warren, Arkansas several years ago in the playoffs. I was an assistant. And, woo, we went up there and they had those 3 good receivers. Boy, that was in the early 2000s. A couple of them went to Arkansas. I think that big tight end went to Tennessee. Can't remember their names. But anyway, boy, they were loaded. And anyway, so, man, this is wonderful. Fullback, man, I love it. Maddox Laster, he's a redshirt freshman. And so he had a 77% overall grade, 82% run blocking grade, and 72% pass blocking grade. He came in, I think, played about 9 or 10 plays and did a great job. I love it, having the old fullback out there. I told you, Coach Petrino, man, his offense is going to move the ball and score points. He'll do whatever he has to do, and he's doing a great job, guys. We need to be excited about the team we have. All right, number 4, wide receiver, Andrew Armstrong from Dallas, Texas. He had an 84 overall grade on offense, 81 in the pass game, 79 run blocking, which is a big thing. If we're going to get big plays from our running backs, those receivers have got to be downfield blocking. And Andrew had a huge game. 79 is a great grade. He had 8 catches for 137 yards, which is a whopping 17 yards per catch. And he was targeted 13 times. He's by far our most reliable receiver. And him and Taylor Green are really getting a good bond between each other. They're getting a good rapport because he was targeted way more than a lot of the other guys. But there were several drops. I don't blame him going to Andrew Armstrong. Armstrong's shown he can catch the ball and make plays. So, but great job again by him. He's really playing well. All right, number 3. Here we go. Defensive end, Landon Jackson from Texarkana, Texas, just right down the road from me. He went to Pleasant Grove High School. He was the top-rated defensive player. And UAB coach Trent Dilfer, he's a former quarterback there for the Ravens and some other teams. He singled him out, when Metcalf intercepted that pass. Apparently Metcalf had said some stuff about UAB, I don't know, and they were trying to go Dilfer and saying something bad about him. He said, well, the reason that pass was intercepted is because of big number 40. He said that guy there just wore us out all day. He said he's going to be in the NFL for many years, making a lot of money. And Landon really broke out in this game. Been struggling a little bit. But, might be other teams are really, game planning for him. I don't know. But, boy, he had a big game here. He was our top defensive player. He graded at 85% overall, which is a wonderful grade. 80% tackling, 80% in the pass rush, 74% versus the run. He had 6 total quarterback pressures, which is huge. He had 1 quarterback hit and 5 hurries. And he was deflected that ball that right there at the end of the game. The guy was probably open. He was behind Metcalf, if I can remember correctly, or the corner. Metcalf might have been the safety. I can't remember. But he did come through and barely tip the ball. And the announcers on the game, when I was watching, they made a big deal of it and showed that he did get a finger on it. If he hadn't, they might have scored right there and got back in the game real quick. But so Landon had a really big game. He had 5 tackles, and 4 of those tackles were stop tackles, which stopped drives. So great job there by Landon. Let's keep it up. Let's keep going. Number 2 is running back Jaquindon Jackson, also from Dallas, Texas. Him and Andrew Armstrong. Jaquindon with another huge game. Man, it was great. We're so lucky to have this guy on our team. He is really good. He graded out 86% overall, 86 in run game, 80% pass blocking. Like I said, that is huge. That's why, like I was saying with Rodney Hill, that's why a lot of these running backs can't play much because you can't trust them pass blocking. A lot of coaches I knew back in the middle 2000s, they'd quit asking their running backs to block. They would just send them on pass routes because they were just terrible blockers. But what they do in college a lot of times, those linebackers will kind of man up on those running backs. If they stay in the block, they're coming. If they run a route, they just got them man to man. Now, not everybody does that, but anyway. So great job pass blocking there by Jaquindon. Now, he did have 15 carries for 147 yards and a touchdown. 147 yards, guys. That is unreal. Man, that's a good game. That's 9.8 yards per carry. He also had 1 catch for 8 yards. And something I'd like to see Arkansas getting back to is throwing it underneath to the running backs like they did there against Pine Bluff, I think, quite a bit. He just checked down the running back. And boy, you got people like Jaquinton Jackson, Ron Hill. Those guys can go and get it in their hands as many times as you can. Now, like I said, Jaquinton is the 5th leading rusher in NCAA right now. I mean, he's having an absolutely monster year. And, imagine us last year, how bad we weren't running the ball last year and how we've come now, like Coach Pittman and all the offensive coaches and the defensive too, recruiting. They all help out in recruiting, And so, boy, they've done a great job getting Jaquinton in there. Boy, he's a good one. So we're lucky to have him for sure. And number one player again, I think, he was been number one about every game, is quarterback Talon Green from Louisville, Texas. And, of course, he transferred in. And people have been on him, saying, oh, he had a terrible game passing the ball. He struggled a little bit throwing the ball. He was less than 50% completion percentage. But the good thing about Talon is that's not all he's got. He can run the ball too, okay? So he's that dual threat. If you do have a bad passing game, he's okay. He can run, have a really big game running the ball. He can affect the game in many ways. Now, he graded out 91% overall offense. 91. That is a great grade. 89% in the run game. Now, 76 in the pass game. He was 11 of 26 for 161 yards. He did throw an interception. Remember, though, he don't have a lot of experience in college. I mean, he don't. And Coach Petrino's trying to change his throwing motion and all kinds of stuff. And he did miss some guys. He missed some, but it happens. When you throw the ball, you're going to miss them. It happens, guys. Trust me. Now, the good part is he had 15 carries for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns. And that's what really helps him, is that he can run the ball as well as throw it. So great job there. Now, he is number 3 in the NCAA in overall offensive grade. He's number 3. His grades out like 92% this year. And that's number 3 in all of college football. Okay? So, guys, listen. He is a heck of a player. He's one of the best in the country. And I've been seeing people say, oh, it might be time to look at Singleton or KJ or somebody. Hey, man, this guy's one of the best in the country. He struggled a little bit. It's okay. He's not going to be the best passer in the world. He did miss some guys wide open. He missed a few that were open. He didn't throw it to them, but that happens. It happens. He's learning. And he just needs to listen to Coach Petrino, because Coach Petrino is a master play caller. I'm telling you, don't mess this up, guys, you fans. That's what I'm talking about. We got a good group, good coaches. It's only going to get better. And so Talon, another good game by him, did very well. And that's all I got. That's my last slide there. Those are my top 10. I can go back through here. This was the very first slide here is the top 10. You had Green and Jackson, and look at those 80% grades. We had the top 4 were over 80%, which is really, really good grades, guys. And then we had 1, 2, 3 in the 70s, high 70s. 2 in the high 70s, and Blackstock at 73. But those are really good grades, man. I mean, played good. UAB played good too. UAB is a good team. They're very physical. They got some good receivers. And they have 2 good corners, good pass rusher. I mean, they're a good team, guys. I'm telling you, UAB's going to be tough. And but anyway, man, great job by the Arkansas Razorbacks. I'm just glad we got the big win. Was it our best game? No, I mean, secondary could play better. Talon Green could have threw the ball better. But we won 37-27. I mean, come on. It was a win. So great job. I'm super proud of the Arkansas Razorbacks. I'm ready to see him go over to Jordan Hare, I believe his name, where Auburn plays. And so they got. Now, Auburn's a good team too, but we are too. So we'll see how it goes. But great job versus the UAB Blazers. That's all I got. Go Hogs.